Good evening, it's good to see you again this Thursday. I'm Haylena Krishnamoorthy and these are the top stories. Sultan Ahmad Shah laid to rest in Pekan. Student dies in violent bus crash. And 50 children rescued from online pedophile ring. We begin 7Edition with this story. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong's father, Sultan Ahmad Shah Al-Mustain Billah Ibni Al-Marhum, Sultan Abu Bakar Riayatuddin Al-Muazzam Shah, was laid to rest at the Pekan Royal Mausoleum at 4:35 p.m. today. The remains of the former Sultan of Pahang were interred next to the grave of his wife, Tengku Ampuan Pahang, Tengku Afzan Tengku Muhammad, who passed away in 1988.
Among the dignitaries who gave their last respects during the ceremony steeped in royal tradition at Istana Abu Bakar in Pekan today were Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and his wife Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali. Others who attended the royal funeral were cabinet ministers as well as former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak and his wife Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor. At the Royal Mausoleum, the King Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and his brother Tengku Muda Pahang, Tengku Abdul Rahman, laid the tombstone on their father's grave. Also present were the Sultan of Brunei, Sultan Hassan Al-Bolkiah, the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Almarhum Sultan Iskandar, and Melaka Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Dr. Muhammad Khalil Yaakob. During the funeral, State Mufti Datuk Sri Dr. Abdul Rahman Osman recited the talqin of funeral rites. Earlier, he led the final funeral prayer at the Sultan Ahmad Shah Mosque located next to the mausoleum. Sultan Ahmad Shah reigned as the 5th Sultan of Pahang for almost 45 years before his eldest son, Sultan Abdullah, was announced as his successor on January 12. He died at the age of 88 at the National Heart Institute in Kuala Lumpur at 8:50 a.m. yesterday.
And a 21-year-old man was charged in the Ipoh Magistrates Court today with killing his father in their house this month. No plea was recorded from the accused P.K. Karish Kumar Sharma when the charge was read to him before Magistrate Umar Zarul An-Nur Umar. He allegedly murdered 56-year-old R. Pardip Kumar between 4:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. at Taman Bercham Sinar, Ipoh on May 9. He was charged under the Penal Code, which carries the mandatory death sentence upon conviction. The victim died while being treated at the Raja Permaisuri Bainun Hospital on May 9, where a doctor found contusions on his head. Investigations reveal the incident happened after an argument broke out between the victim and his two sons over property. The court fixed June 26 for re-mention of the case. And in Perak, a 16-year-old school dropout pleaded guilty at the Ipoh Magistrates Court today to raping a 5-year-old girl last month. The victim was under the care of the accused's mother when the alleged incident took place. The teen made the plea after the charge was read to him before Magistrate Nabiha Muhammad Noor. However, the court fixed June 26 for re-mention of the case while waiting for the report from the Social Welfare Department as well as the presence of an advisory officer before passing sentence. The accused was alleged to have committed the offence at his mother's house in Kinta on April 16. He was charged under the Penal Code, which carries a jail term of up to 30 years and whipping upon conviction. The court set bail at 4,000 with one surety. The magistrate also ordered the accused not to contact the victim and the victim's family in whatever means of communication. In Malacca, a man was sentenced to 20 years in prison plus 24 strokes of the rotan for raping his 17-year-old daughter between February and April this year. Earlier, the 45-year-old father of 8 pleaded guilty to the charges framed under the Penal Code before Judge Elizabeth Paya 1. According to the charge sheet, the accused raped the victim at a house in Taman Bukit Larang Indah at around 2 a.m. on February 27, March 22nd and April 21st. The incidents only came to light after the victim's teacher found slash wounds on her wrist. The court ordered the man to begin serving the jail term from the date of arrest on May 17 and to be given 10 strokes of the rotan for each charge. However, only 24 strokes will be executed as that's the maximum penalty for adult offenders. Now in Selangor, a Lithuanian construction consultant was fined 12,000 ringgit after pleading guilty to 2 counts of criminal intimidation and being verbally abusive towards a cabin crew from Oman Air on Sunday. 33-year-old Petronis Agustanis admitted to committing the offences before Magistrate A. Akiruddin alias Boy Acho at the Sepang Magistrates Court today. The accused had committed the offences framed under the civil aviation rules on board a flight from Muscat, Oman to Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, on May 19. Augustinas, in his appeal, said he could not remember what happened during the incident as he was intoxicated after consuming alcohol from the flight from London to Muscat. The court then imposed a 6,000 ringgit fine for every charge in default of 6 months jail. At the same court, the remand order for a Nigerian believed to be involved in the murder of Serdang Hospital's head nurse, Siti Karina Kamarudin, has been extended for a week from tomorrow until May 30th. The 36-year-old man had been earlier remanded for 7 days from May 17th. He was arrested a day earlier at a cafe in Cheras, about 24 hours after the discovery of Siti Karina's body. Based on initial investigation, the suspect was the last person to be seen on a CCTV recording coming out of the victim's rented residence at the 3rd Avenue condominium in Cyberjaya. The remand against 2 others connected to the case, a 35-year-old Nigerian woman and 38-year-old Pakistani man, was also extended another week from yesterday. The body of the 40-year-old victim, who reportedly was missing since May 8th, was found in the condominium unit with slash wounds on her chest. The discovery was made by the house owner, who alerted authorities after seeing blood flowing out from under the unit's doors.
Meanwhile, the remand period for a man with a Datuk Sri title held to assist graft investigations into the 135 million ringgit military procurement contract for armoured vehicles has been extended for another 3 days. The extension was issued by Magistrate Atika Abu Hassan at the Putrajaya Magistrates Court today to facilitate investigations by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC). Earlier, the individual was remanded for 4 days to assist in the probe. The 39-year-old Datuk Sri was arrested at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya on May 19th after giving his statement. He was among several people being investigated by the graft buster in the case. The probe is being investigated under the MACC Act.
A bus carrying students of a vocational college and Maktab Rendah Sains Mara MRSM crashed near Bukit Tangga in Jelebu Negeri Sembilan earlier today, killing 1 person and injuring 24 others. The 3:30 p.m. incident on Jalan Kuala Klawang, Seremban, saw the bus swerve to the road shoulder and ram into a tree before landing upside down. Police said the bus was ferrying the students to Terminal 1 bus stop in Seremban for their semester break. 2 of the injured victims were passengers of a sport utility vehicle, Nissan X-Trail, which was also involved in the crash. The body of 17-year-old Muhammad Firdaus Sharul Azam was sent to the Tuanku Jafar Hospital for post-mortem. Other victims, including the injured bus driver, were sent to the same hospital and Jelebu Hospital for treatment. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of the crash. In Kuala Lumpur, 2 people were killed while 3 others were injured after a multi-story car park under construction collapsed early this morning. The incident occurred at the Gombak LRT station in Taman Melati at 1:13 a.m. The dead victims were identified as an Indonesian married couple known only as Alias and Ina. The bodies were recovered just after 2 p.m. today. The remains were then sent to the Kuala Lumpur hospital for post-mortem. 2 injured Indonesian workers were also sent to the same hospital. Earlier, rescuers also had to cut part of the third victim's hand for him to be pulled out of the rubble. The victim, a Bangladeshi, was found 6 hours after the incident. An initial probe revealed that the ground floor was used as living quarters for the contract workers. Gombak Police Chief ACP Samsur Maruf said the construction site will be closed until investigations into the incident have been completed. When we return, man gets defensive as he breaks condominium rules. Details next. Thanks for staying with us. Perak police nabbed a father and son over the shooting of a caged monkey, which was recorded on video and went viral after it was uploaded on social media. State Police Chief Datuk Razaruddin Hussein said police raided a house in Taman Kenangan in Setiawan at 9 p.m. last night and arrested the duo as well as seized a pistol believed to have been used to gun down the animal.
Datuk Razaruddin said the son, the main suspect in the case, admitted to taking the gun while his father was asleep. The probe is being carried out under the Firearms Act and the Penal Code.
Kalau ikutkan suspek daripada siasatan awal, dia suka-suka. Yang mana monyet ini ditangkap di kebunnya disebabkan merosakkan hasil buah-buahan dan dijerat dan itulah dia cakap dia suka-suka untuk dia lah, joy lah.
It was reported in our clickbait segment recently that a man recorded a video of himself shooting a monkey in cold blood. The 19-second video featured the man forcing the monkey to call him baby sayang on the count of 3 before firing a shot at the animal's head. The video, which has gone viral on social media, had also received widespread condemnation from netizens, politicians and animal activists alike.
Lain kali cakap baby sayang.
Now in Johor, police have detained 123 Chinese nationals working as online gambling operators during a raid at City Plaza in Johor Bahru early this morning. The 109 men and 14 women detained were believed to be promoting the gambling activities through several websites to potential customers in China.
Mereka ni berperanan sebagai menarik pelanggan-pelanggan yang base di China. Tujuan untuk mempromosikan perjudian mereka ni melalui satu software yang dinamakan Kingdo.com.
In the raid, police also seized 118 laptops, 287 mobile phones of various brands, 77 notebooks and Wi-Fi equipment. Initial investigation revealed that the syndicate started operating last month and the premises operated 24 hours a day with 3 shifts. All the suspects, aged between 16 and 47, also failed to furnish any valid travel documents. The case is being investigated under the Common Gaming Houses Act and the Immigrations Act. Also, police have arrested 7 members of 2 Penang-based syndicates which distributed drugs using tea bags, following 2 separate raids carried out over last weekend, which also saw the seizure of various drugs worth over R500,000. In the first raid on Saturday, a 51-year-old local man was arrested at his home in Jelutong, where 4.1 grams of shabu worth R207,000 were seized. A day later, 6 men believed to be members of another syndicate were arrested in a house in Tanjung Tokong with drugs worth R303,000, including over 8,000 Arabin 5 pills, were seized.
Bungkusan yang kita rampas tu, dia tu memang orang kata datang dalam bentuk macam teh. Ya, sebab benda tu di luar tu dia punya chop tu adalah chop kata teh adalah nama Cina tu. Tapi bila dibuka tengok tu dalam tu adalah kristal syabu lah. Ya. Saudara sendiri buat keputusan mengabui itulah ingat itu adalah salah satu hela dia untuk mengaburi pihak penguatkuasa untuk mengenal pasti bahawa mereka ni terlibat dalam pengedaran dadah. So kalau kita tengok secara imbas tu kita ingat macam bungkusan teh, ya. Ini adalah salah satu MO ataupun modus operandi pengedar dadah ni.
Other items seized included 16,000 ringgit cash, 10,000 ringgit worth of jewellery and 4 vehicles worth 104,000 ringgit. Police said the two syndicates adopted the same modus operandi but were operating separately since 2 months ago. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Police have raided the office of accounting firm Deloitte Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur today, believed to be in relation to the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal. Federal Police Commercial Crimes Investigation Department CCID team arrived at the office in Taman Tun Dr. Ismail at 10:45 a.m. to conduct the raid. At about 5:30 p.m., the police team was seen exiting the building. They were sighted loading 2 cardboard boxes believed to contain several files and documents related to 1MDB into an unmarked police car and a police van. It was learned that no one was picked up in the search, which lasted for more than 7 hours. In January, it was reported that the Securities Commission Malaysia, SC, had fined Deloitte 2 million ringgit for failing to discharge its statutory obligations, including not immediately reporting irregularities in its audit. The fines were in connection with the 2.4 billion ringgit Sukuk Murabaha program issued by Bandar Malaysia Sendirian Berhad in 2014. Deloitte was the statutory auditor for Bandar Malaysia and 1MDB Real Estate Sendirian Berhad for the financial years ending March 31st, 2015 to 2016. The SC said it found Deloitte to have committed 2 breaches under the Capital Markets and Services Act 2007. Now let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. When seeking rented accommodation, it is not uncommon to find that landlords or housing providers have imposed a no pets policy as part of their agreement. This is usually due to many factors such as noise, potential damage to their property, or simply due to insurance restrictions. But some definitely choose to ignore these rules. A video surfaced on Facebook earlier this week, which has garnered almost 500,000 views, showing a heated argument between a man and a security guard at a condominium after the former brought in his dog to the lobby. Here's the full story. The incident happened at a condo in Taman Sungai Besi last Monday. The video caption wrote that the man had brought his dog to the lobby area, ignoring the building's house rules, the sensitivities of Muslims as well as other people in the lobby area, who may have a fear of animals. He can also be seen repeatedly showing the middle finger to the security guard throughout the video, while the man in the blue shirt, presumably his friend, tried to calm him down. Moments afterwards, the man got up to leave the building, giving the stink eye to the guard. Outraged netizens were quick to leave their vicious comments on the video, condemning the man's behavior. One Facebook user wrote that even the dog looks amazed at how much its owner is yelling, while another dubbed the man downright arrogant. Coming up, British Prime Minister to announce resignation on Friday. We'll be right back. We're back with foreign news. International Criminal Police Organization Interpol said Thursday that 9 people had been arrested in Thailand, Australia and the United States after investigators took down an online pedophilia ring. More arrests were expected as police in nearly 60 countries pursue investigations stemming from an Interpol operation launched 2 years ago. 50 children were also rescued following the arrest. According to Interpol, its Operation Blacklist began after it found material that was traced back to a site on the dark web, where people can use encrypted software to hide behind layers of secrecy. Investigations were then carried out into the hidden subscription-based dark web site with nearly 63,000 users across the globe. Interpol enlisted help from national agencies worldwide, with the U.S. Homeland Security Investigations HSI department eventually tracking the site's IP address, where new photos and videos were posted weekly. The first arrests came in early 2018, when the site's main administrator, Montri Salangam, was detained in Thailand, and another administrator, Ruecha Tokputza, was captured in Australia. Salangam, whose victims included one of his nephews, was sentenced in June last year to 146 years in prison by Thai courts, while an associate, a preschool teacher, got 36 years. Tokputza, aged 31, was handed a 40-year prison term at his trial in Australia last Friday, the longest ever for child sex offences in the country, after pleading guilty to 50 counts of abuse of 11 babies and children, one just 15 months old between 2011 and 2018. Interpol, however, did not identify others arrested, although the HSI said numerous arrests had also been made in the US. Authorities also said they are currently trying to identify an additional 100 children in images that had been shared on the internet's uncharted corners. British Prime Minister Theresa May is expected on Friday to state her departure from office, as it's announced that the crucial Brexit vote scheduled for the week has been postponed, starting June 3rd. According to The Times, May will remain as Prime Minister while her successor is elected in a two-stage process under which two final candidates face a ballot of 125,000 Conservative Party members. Earlier, May implored MPs to back her reworked European Union EU divorce deal, which saw pro-Brexit Conservatives as well as opposition parties savage her bid for a compromise to end months of political crisis. The Premier had outlined a package of compromise measures aimed at securing the support of MPs from the main opposition Labour Party, included giving Parliament a vote on holding a referendum on her divorce deal. May also urged lawmakers who have repeatedly rejected her plan to vote for it in early June so that the country can finally leave the bloc later in the summer. In the meantime, the postponement of the Brexit vote comes after an outcry from hardline Brexiteers over concessions made by May. Britain and Netherlands kicked off voting across the continent on Thursday in a contest in which rising populist forces are hoping to make significant gains, threatening close EU integration. Polls opened within half an hour of each other in the two countries, with the first results unannounced until late Sunday, once voting in all 28 EU members has been completed. More than 400 million voters across the bloc are eligible to elect 751 MEPs, with Britain unexpectedly included. Having voted to leave the EU in a seismic referendum in 2016, Britain was originally meant to depart on March 29, therefore not take part in these elections. However, its MPs have not been able to agree on a divorce deal, and Britain now finds itself in the absurd situation of electing lawmakers to an institution it is planning to leave. Around the continent, national leaders are scrambling to mobilize their supporters to resist the populist surge. These are the 9th European Parliament elections since they began in 1979, and voter turnout has dropped each time, hitting 43% in 2014. 10 people were killed and 4 others wounded on Wednesday in a shootout between presumed members of criminal groups in Mexico's western state of Michoacan. Authorities reported they found military-grade weapons, ammunition clips and bullets of various calibers at the shootout site. Michoacan has long dealt with criminal violence, leading to the rise of self-defense groups 6 years ago, as well as the deployment of soldiers to the state in 2014. Mexico has seen spike in deadly violence since the government deployed soldiers to crack down on drug trafficking cartels in 2006. More than 250,000 people have been killed since then, although it remains unclear how many of those are linked to the war on drug cartels. We've reached the end of 7 Edition this evening. I'm Haylena Krishnamoorthy. Thanks for tuning in. Until we meet again, good night.